Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Again, it's been a while since we've all been together. We got to work on that. We'll try everyone this time. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So I want to focus for one moment on news that came out of our town this week in our county that beginning this summer, Essex County will be ending its contract with ICE. That up until this point, the county jail, which is located in Newark, was renting beds to ICE, working hard to make sure that the jail was not filled to capacity with county convictions through criminal justice reform. There were many open beds, and ICE was paying $117 per day per detainee. And our county, as a result, was making roughly $30 million a year with this ICE contract. And you could argue that as the county would, and elected officials from the county would, that this was offsetting increases in tax increases, et cetera. But looking at the books, you can see that many of the beautiful aspects of our county that we have seen over the past number of years, improvements to Turtleback Zoo, et cetera, came from money that was based on this contract with ICE, as Senator Bob Menendez called it, blood money. And we're left wrestling with this idea of what does it mean to be making money off of unethical and imperfect actions by government agencies. As a result, Bergen County, which still has a contract in place with ICE, has made a promise that it is currently not going to be housing additional ICE detainees. And Hudson County, which is one of the largest ICE facilities in the state, said that they are going to be reexamining their contract with the goal of ending their contract with ICE by the end of the year. And there is one private ICE facility in Elizabeth, where many of us in our community have come together for prayer and action. And that is run by a private prison company, a for-profit company, Civic Core. And the owners of that building that rent to this private prison have said that they will be canceling that contract as well in the near future. I bring all of this up because there's a debate actually in immigration justice circles, which says, is the answer to actually cancel these contracts with ICE? Because what's happening as a result is that these ICE detainees are then being transferred to other facilities across the country. And if we're in an area with many justice advocates, be it pro bono attorneys, be it organizations that we've partnered with in the past, like First Friends of New Jersey and New York, be it HIAS, et cetera, then we have the ability in this area to fight for the rights of those who are detained, who otherwise don't have any rights. And if you go to a place, if they are transferred to a place like the Otero facility on the Texas-New Mexico border, then there are less advocates for them. I acknowledge that ending a contract with ICE does not solve the problem that is our immigration system. It does not solve the challenges that we face. We can have a very honest and important conversation, a difficult conversation of citizenship, of how to welcome immigrants into this country, of what immigration should look like, what it currently looks like. But that has nothing to do with this conversation about the treatment of ICE detainees as convicts and criminals, which is exactly what is happening for clergy. This seems like a lifetime ago, who were given a tour of the Essex County ICE facility, this is pre-COVID back in 2019, which is a wing of the Newark County Jail. Those who are detained by ICE were treated in the exact same way as federal prisoners. those who came to this country, most of whom came to this country legally through work or student visas, and those visas expired, or even those who came to this country seeking asylum or seeking a better life for them and their family, are treated by our county until this contract ends in August the same way that we are treating federal prisoners. We're taught in our Torah portion this morning, as Tyler beautifully taught us, about this challenge that if one has any small imperfection, they cannot give an offering to God. But what we're also told is that if an animal is imperfect, then they can't serve as that sacrificial offering to God either. And we wrestle with what that means, because actually the laws of kashrut and the laws of kosher slaughtering today are much more liberal than what the Torah suggests. So why is it, our rabbis ask, that an animal that has any blemish can't be used as an offering to God? And the answer is that in practices of holiness, we always strive for perfection. We always strive to do what is best. And we know that, well, attaining perfection is impossible. We always strive to do better. We strive to get better. We strive to be the best version of ourselves that we can be in all that we do. Rambam interprets it that the ultimate form of perfection is that we live a just and ethical life in order to be God's partners in this world. That to be perfect without so-called blemish is to make this a more just society, he teaches. And so I want us to hold on to that idea, because ultimately, Essex County ending their contract with ICE, or Bergen County ultimately doing so, or Hudson County ultimately doing so, or any counties doing so, or private ICE prisons having their contracts end by building owners like in Elizabeth, that doesn't change the unethical practices of ICE. That doesn't change how we treat immigrants in this country, which is very much a chilul Hashem, which is very much a desecration of God and a desecration of those made in God's image. But it's a start, because it's an acknowledgement that if we strive to build a more perfect society, then we begin by striving to build a more just society. And we begin by saying that we are talking the talk and walking the walk. Any organization suggests that if you want to know one's values, you must look at their budgets. And so if we want to know the values of our local leadership, if we want to know the values of our local elected officials, we must look on where the money is coming from as well. And that begins by ending such a contract.